This is the story how our ancestors got to America. This is the dad, and his name is Ralph Thomas Snowball. This is the mom, and her name is Elizabeth Garr. This is their daughter, Eliza, and she was 17.
This is the son, John Snowball. He was 14.
This is Mary Jane, and she is 12.
This is Ralph Snowball. He is my great-great-great-great-grandpa. He was 10.
This is Elizabeth Snowball, and she was 8.
The family set sail on a ship called the Windermere the 22nd of February, 1854. There was 477 saints on board. They left from Liverpool, New England, and they were headed to New Orleans. They had 5 weeks of very bad wind, but after those 5 weeks, they were able to travel 1,000 miles in just 4 days with very favorable winds.
6 marriages were solemnized on board, and 6 births and 10 deaths occurred.
As soon as they got to New Orleans, they wanted to go straight to Salt Lake City.
Ralph's 41-year-old mother died June 2nd, shortly after the arrival at the Kansas campground.
When the Pioneer Party arrived at Big Sandy on the plains en route to Utah, Ralph's older sister, Eliza, died of mountain fever and was buried in a shallow grave by the side of the trail, July 14th, 1854. When they reached Green River, the dad, Thomas Snowball, died.
He was buried underneath a tree by the side of the river near Fort Bridger just 13 days after he had buried his daughter.
Yep.
Young Ralph and his 14-year-old brother urged the tired oxen onward, and on September 30th, 1854, they brought their sisters Mary Jane and 8-year-old Elizabeth into Salt Lake Valley.
Brigham Young put the 4 lonely children in the care of foster parents, and the brothers worked industriously to earn enough money to buy a team and a new coffin to return to their father's body so that he could be buried in his promised land. 4 years later, the boys received permission from President Young to make the trip to Wyoming, but when they arrived, they discovered that Green Creek had circled and the tree which served as a grave marker stood in the center of the stream.
My great-great-great-grandpa helped build the temple. He was hired to take food and supplies to the quarry in Little Cottonwood Canyon for the men who were quarrying granite for the building of the Salt Lake Temple. He would then haul blocks of granite back on the return trip. He encountered so many rattlesnakes along the route of each 2-day trip that he had to keep a herd of pigs with him because the snakes would not bite through the thick skin and layers of fat, but the pigs could kill the rattlers with their sharp hooves. We love our ancestors.